Hey there, Richard Mathrew here. Are you a network marketer and you just can't seem to get people to commit, right? You feel like it's going well in the presentation. You're like, yes, this is it, this is going to be it. And then it all falls to pieces. You either end up chasing them or it's next month. You just can't quite to get them signing up as a team member or as a customer on a consistent basis. Well, I'm going to try and help you fix that right now with some top tips on how to close better as a network marketer. So let's just dive in. I'm a direct guy. Let's get straight to the point. And if at any point in time through this training you're like, this is useful, I want more, then you can go to the link that's in the top corner or the description on YouTube. Or if you're listening on the podcast, hey, how's it going? Then you're able to go into the text description area. That is a link to join my Facebook group, loads of bonus training, resources. I give away mini lead generation masterclasses, tips, training, live sessions, and it's all free. So I hope to see you over there if you enjoy this training. So let's dive into closing tips for you as a network marketer. Well, first of all, I would say that the close begins at the start. If you're leaving all the work to do after the presentation, you're not being smart. Not really identifying where somebody is, where they want to be, showing them why what you're about to show them, be it a webinar, be it a presentation, be it a slideshow, is going to be for them, is a big mistake. Because they have all these questions and doubts at the end of the presentation. Well, what about this? Have I got the time? Have I got the money? How much effort does it take? If you can begin to ask some of these questions before the presentation, you'll have people with a much more open mind when they view it. It's like a little movie review, right? If you watch a review of a movie and it has amazing stellar reviews, you're already looking to like the movie before you even get there. Let's start to do that in your business before the presentation. Now let's move on to what to do after the presentation when it comes to closing someone into your team. I like to be real because, there's so much out there where you have to learn scripts, details, complicated series of questions. That's a lot to remember with everything else going on in your life, right? And then if you mess that up, you're like, oh man, could I have got the sign up? That's frustrating. So instead, start to ask questions that allow you to share how you honestly feel. For example, I'll give you a great example of this. Whenever I had someone give me an objection, I don't have the time, don't have the money, etc., I'd start to try and wrestle with that with them. And it felt like I was almost being bossy towards them. I'm trying to tell them what they can and can't do, and that's never good. The most powerful voice to your prospect when talking to themselves is their own voice. You want to use their voice for them. Right? Don't try and tell them what they can do. Ask them to answer these questions and share how you feel. I'm making this more complicated. So, for example, someone would say to me, Richard, I'm not sure about X, Y, Z. And I would say, hey, is it okay if I share with you exactly how I feel? And they'd be like, okay, yeah, sure, go ahead. I'd say, well, look, I've been doing this a long time, and let me tell you the truth. From my personal experience, when people say they're going to do it, they mean it. They mean they're going to come back next week, next month, whatever it may be. But I can count on one hand out of an occasion of thousands where people have actually come back. So are you the kind of person that puts things on a to-do list and then doesn't get through that to-do list? Do you ever have any items that stay on a to-do list for a long time? Losing weight, learning a language, picking up a hobby. Do you have things like that you don't get around to? People will often say, yes, because they do. Nearly everybody does, if they're honest. You say, well, okay, so if you know that you're the kind of person that will put this on a to-do list and it's basically a never to-do list, really it's just a question of how much do you really want to do this? How much, the things we've discussed, how important are they to you? And if they're important, wouldn't it be smart to think about doing this now rather than leaving it till later? Because I really don't want to be in a situation where I come back to you next week, next month, next year, and you're exactly stuck in the same place. What do you think the smart thing to do would be? So I just ask them. That's exactly how I feel. That's what I found in my experience. People, great opportunity. It's custom made for them. They could really do well, and they talk themselves out of it. So I just tell them that's probably what's going to happen if you're the kind of person that has a to-do list. It's a never to-do list. And I got really good responses from that, still do. And they're like, yeah, you know what, I do sometimes procrastinate. Well, maybe it's not the actual decisions you're making, but the way in which you're making them. Do you ever consider that maybe delaying these things is causing you not to grab the opportunity, which has led you to where you are? Yeah, it makes sense. So I don't have to remember any of these amazing scripts or be a super salesperson. All I have to think about is, let me tell this person the truth and what's on my mind and what I've experienced. And if you start to do more of that and just remember to frame it in a question format as opposed to statements, you'll be amazed at some of the progress you can make with people. And at the very least, even if they don't sign up there and then, what you'll have happen is you will actually start to get people coming back to you, saying things like, I've been thinking about what you said to me, or I've been thinking about those questions you asked me, and you know what, I do want to go ahead and do this. You'll start to have more of that type of occurrence as well. So anyway, I just want to drop this knowledge on you right now. Hopefully it's useful. Give it a try. If you're active, you'll have a presentation coming up soon. Ask yourself, are you really setting the stage correctly? Are you asking enough pre-questions to really qualify that person, have them excited about the information so they actually watch it? And then also, at the end of the information, whatever you decide to use, are you sharing how you truly feel if you meet any resistance or objections from them? Or are you just trying to use flashy scripts and strategies that really are too complicated and are just confusing the both of you? Hopefully that's been useful. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this training, if you like this, if you think it's useful, if you like my practical to the point style, you love my Facebook group specifically for network marketers, the link is in the top corner, description, text area. You're bound to find it if you look even for a couple of seconds, so I hope to see you over there. As always, go create a day in a life that counts. Always have more desires than excuses. If you're a subscriber, I will speak to you really soon. Have a fantastic day, and bye for now.